All right, Nick, let's talk about the New Orleans Saints. I think the buzz around the Saints this whole offseason has obviously been over the pickup of Spencer Rattler. I don't think anyone expected the Saints to get Rattler. I don't think Rattler was expected to fall as far as he did, but nonetheless, we are here. And I think when you look around the NFL sphere, there's one guy in particular who's giving high praise to Spencer Rattler, and that is probably really, really good for the Saints. Let's get into the article, and we can talk more about this on the other side. This is from Mississippi Today. It says, probably the biggest surprise in recent NFL draft came in the 5th round when New Orleans Saints chose South Carolina quarterback Spencer Rattler. The Saints hadn't been expected to take a quarterback. Rattler had been expected to go much higher. But at least one expert, a former New Orleans Saint quarterback and Mississippi legend, believes the drafting of Rattler was a wise choice by his hometown team. He said, I like Rattler, Archie Manning said recently. I like him as a person and as a player. I can't wait to see what he does for the Saints. I really enjoyed Spencer at our camp, Manning said. His attitude was great. He worked hard, got along great with all the other quarterbacks and campers. At our meeting to start every day, he always came in early, sat front and center, and just seemed to soak everything in. He had a maturity about him. He wanted to learn. He just had this little gleam in his eye, and obviously he can really throw the football. Nick, I think when Archie Manning says good things about your quarterback as a Saints fan, you gotta feel pretty good about that. I'm curious what your thoughts on this one are, though. But before we get to you, Saints fans, in the comment section below, I think that the Saints are off to a great offseason. I think that this team is really shaping up. But I want to know, next season, what are you most excited about as far as the improvements on this team? Do you think the offense is going to be the most improved? Do you think the defense will be most improved? Is there a position group in particular you're really liking right now that's shaped up very nicely from last season? Let us know in the comments below. What do you think will be the most improved part of this team next season? And while you're down there, check out the description below the video and look at our list of recommended books for NFL. There's a lot of great autobiographies, a lot of great books just about how the NFL works in general. So if you want to be the smartest guy in the comments, check out that list in the description below the video. But Nick, what are your thoughts on Spencer Rattler?
So I think this comments here by Archie Manning. First of all, Saints legend, football legend. If you just take that, this is obviously a great sign, right? This is a big indication, a big vote of confidence. And Manning actually said this a few weeks ago, and it kind of slid under the radar because at the time, people weren't really talking about Spencer Rattler that much. Now that he's gotten better after a slow start at mini camps and OTAs, his teammates and the coaches are impressed. We've covered that a lot so far. And now you can look back and say, hey, Archie Manning was calling this a few weeks ago. I think we're seeing a lot of really serious momentum and energy building behind Spencer Rattler. And here's why Archie Manning's comments here, though being positive about Rattler, are so important. If people remember the Manning family, they are incredibly protective, almost to a fault, of the brand of their name. They want to be synonymous with their image that they want the Manning family to be tied to, right? That's why Peyton Manning does only like the goofy commercials, the funny stuff, right? He's trying to protect his brand name, the Manning brand family name. It's sort of the anti-Kardashian, right? Instead of the Kardashians have their weird brand alignment with their stuff, the Manning family is completely opposite. If you look back historically, that's why Archie Manning said, hey, listen, I don't want Eli to play for the Chargers. I want him to play for the New York Giants. He wanted to be protective of Eli Manning's career. He thought going to the Chargers, the San Diego Chargers at that time, would be bad for Eli Manning and bad for the Manning name, the Manning family, the Manning brand. And again, if you're the part of the Manning family, right, like Archie Manning, the patriarch, you're the guru of quarterbacks, you don't just come out and say things about quarterbacks willy-nilly, because if you get it wrong, everyone will just sit there and say, I guess, okay, the Manning family lost it. Okay, Archie lost it, right? He was way off on that guy, right? So Archie Manning saying this isn't just him saying something nice, isn't saying something he half believes or kind of believes. He's come out and said this because he wholeheartedly believes it, and he thinks he's got a high likelihood of being right because he has bet very aggressively on being right for what's good for his family's name, his family's brand in the past, right? It's important to keep that in mind. Archie Manning has done a lot of controversial things like the Eli Manning draft thing to do what he felt was right for the Manning family brand about the quarterback position. His comments about Spencer Rattler, that's a big bet on Rattler. Archie Manning wouldn't make that bet unless he had something to believe in. And now that we've seen the growth of Rattler through mini camps, OTAs, I think there's really something brewing here, right? We talk about corroborating evidence all the time on this channel, getting points from a bunch of different sources. We've got players, we've got coaches, we've got pundits, we now got former players, we've got legends all behind the Spencer Rattler camp. Things are getting very interesting at the quarterback position in the Big Easy right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if before long Spencer Rattler isn't solidly, just solidly number 2 on the depth chart, but maybe even pushing Derek Carr in some ways.
Yeah, Nick, and the way you explained it made me think of something else. You talk about the Manning family brand, and that's something that's not just one person. So when Archie Manning says something, I would be willing to bet that Peyton Manning and Eli Manning somewhat feel the same ways that Archie Manning does. Because like you said, one guy doesn't go out to do something that really is going to disrupt everybody else. There's more than one Manning now in that elite quarterback brand. So I think having the entire Manning family behind you says something as well. I think all of these guys played at a really high level, and it's like you said, Spencer Rattler, he's done a lot of great things. And I think what Archie Manning later in this article talks about, he talks about not only the good things, he talks about, his, leadership ability, his, grind, determination to learn, his athletic ability to throw the football, but he also talks about how he deals with disappointment as well. And he's just been impressed with every single thing Spencer Rattler has done. I think this is really big for the Saints, and like you said, I think this guy is going to be a force. I think he's going to be the surprise of this offseason. We're going to see him really pushing to try to get the top of this depth chart.